Okay, right, now it's time for the main course. We're going to do linguini, or you can use spaghetti if you wish. I'm just choosing to use linguini with homemade rocket pesto, which is really nice. It's got a bit of pepperiness to it, and it's just got a little bit of sun blush tomato and a few black olives floating through it, and a little bit of deep fried rocket to garnish. Really easy to do, and this is how you make it. So, frying pan, and we've got some pine nuts, which is an essential ingredient in making pesto. My other ingredients are rocket. Traditionally, it's obviously made with basil, but I just love rocket in pesto. We've got some Parmesan cheese, which has been nicely finely grated, bit of garlic, and some olive oil. That's it. Pine nuts are in. They're just going to toast. So I'm just going to give them a little shake every now and again. A couple of cloves of garlic. Give them a little bash. Take the outer casing off. How easy is that? And we're just going to roughly chop them. Okay, that'll do, because obviously the machine's going to do all the work for us here. Right, okay, that's done. I'm going to turn it off now. So you can see they've sort of nicely browned a little bit. But you don't want any more than that. What I ordinarily would do now is just let them cool off, but what we'll do is just tip them straight into my blender. Can't waste any of them. Get them all in there, and not one has missed. Hey, what about that for a shot? Brilliant. Garlic, a little bit of olive oil, probably about 100 mils or so, just to start. So good sort of glug of that. Excellent. And we're going to feed it with a bit more olive oil if need be. And then what we do is just squash all that lovely rocket into the food processor. You might think, God, that's a lot, but trust me, it does take a lot. It's so green and vibrant. We're going to keep a little bit of the rocket back because I'm going to deep fry a little bit of rocket. I know it sounds unusual, but it works brilliantly. It goes really crispy, and that's going to be my little garnish to go on top of our pasta dish. And what I'm going to do, just put a little drizzle more of olive oil over the rocket there. Okay, that's it. Then what we do, add the lid on, turn it and press it. You'll see the colour change. It's going to be amazing. Eventually the rocket will just sort of fall into it and it'll start blending the whole thing. Okay, that's not quite ready yet. Almost there. Bit of Parmesan cheese at this stage. Okay, so I've got about 40 grams of really nicely finely grated Parmesan. I can see from that, and obviously through making pesto numerous times, it just needs a little bit more olive oil. Lid back on. And that will be it. Okay, so let's just give our pesto a little taste. Amazing, really nice. Not too over garlicky. You know, you can always put a third clove in if you wish, but I don't like it particularly garlicky. I just want the flavour of that pesto and the cheese in there and the pine nuts. So what I'm going to do, got a little jam jar here. I'm just going to decant it into the jam jar. That lovely colour, wow. This will keep probably about a week, if not a tad longer. And that's it. You've got fresh pesto, beautiful colour. And as I say, keep it in the fridge until you're ready to use it. You can make this way in advance, 2 days before, 3 days before. The longer the better really, because I think it'll improve. Pop that in the fridge until we're ready to cook the pasta. Right, okay, so we've made the pesto. What I'm going to do now, this is my little garnish. It's not essential, but I just think, you know, if you're trying to impress or you're doing a dinner party or something like that, this is a little technique that I think is fantastic. So what we've done is kept a little bit of that rocket back. Got a tray with a bit of kitchen roll. I've got a wok here with, I don't know, probably about an inch or so of sunflower oil, which has got nice and hot, and a little lifting up implement with holes in. Okay, so what we do, just take a little bit of the rocket, a little handful, stand back, okay, at this stage, throw it in and just stand back. Once it stops fizzing, it's ready. Okay, turn that off. What I like to do is just take a little bit of salt, on it, a And that will sit there quite happily for an hour or two until you're ready to serve up. Right, okay, so we're actually ready to cook the pasta now. So the pesto's made. Beautiful sun-blushed tomatoes here. I've got my black olives, bit of extra Parmesan cheese, and I've got some water boiling here with just a bit of salt in it. That's all you need, just salted boiling water, but plenty of. Take your linguine, give it a little bash like that, opens the packet. Take what you need. I normally say about 80 grams per person is suffice. So take some of that lovely linguine, pop them in the boiling water, and we're going to cook that for about 6 minutes. Right, okay, so linguine has been cooking for about 5 minutes now. I don't want to overcook it. I still want a little texture, a little bite to it. So the best thing to do, just lift a little bit up, one little strand, give it a taste. I think that's really nice. It's got a little bit of bite to it, so it's al dente. Pasta's in there, cooked. What we're going to do, got a couple of these little fellas here. These are sun-blushed tomatoes. I absolutely adore these. I have them all the time with everything. I'm going to take about 5 or 6 of these and we're just going to roughly chop them. And we've also got some black olives. Just so you want little flecks running through the pasta dish, and then just chop the whole thing together. There we go. Just make it a little bit more rustic. Gather all that up and pop it into your pasta. Then what we're going to do, our lovely pesto. Take the lid off. And we're going to add a couple of dessert spoonfuls of this lovely, amazing, vibrant, delicious pesto. And we're going to mix it all together. And still using my tongs, I'm going to take some of that lovely, amazing pasta, just give it a good old mix up, you know, just got to make sure all the pasta's coated in the pesto. Grab it with your tongs, lift it up nice and high, and just pop it onto your bowl. As much or as little as you like. And then the same on the other bowl. And then get all those little bits of tomato and black olive at the bottom. Sort of scatter them in and around our dish. And then I've got some Parmesan cheese here and a little grater. Just gonna simply just do some nice shavings straight onto the pasta. That goes over the top, like so. And I think this really just sort of finishes it off beautifully. You know, it really sort of makes it into a dining experience for your guests. And that, my friends, is my linguine with rocket pesto, sun-blushed tomatoes, and black olives. And it's absolutely delicious.